Hi everyone. Good morning. My name is MarcCawley Bercy. I am a senior at Bridgewater State University, and this semester I interned at the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute. So walking into the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute building, into that big white and purple house with a picture of Louis welcoming you as you walk through the door, I instantly felt intimidated. I did not think that I had the skills, the knowledge, the know-how, any of that, to be able to navigate a space as this. I had no prior experience with any of the items that my internship site was dealing with. The Louis D. Brown Peace Institute aids people, survivors of homicide victims, and I believe that I lived a very sheltered and privileged existence, so I was very dumbfounded by and taken aback by my placement there, and so I wondered how I would navigate the setting with both staff and survivors themselves. The LDBPI, as it's known, is present at the worst times in the lives of its clients. The Louis D. Brown Peace Institute often holds that it is part of a club that nobody wants to be a part of. It is that nobody wants to walk through those doors, as walking through those doors often means that something terrible has happened. That goes for both staff as well as survivors. And so I expected the culture of the organization to match this. I expected it to be solemn. I expected it to be introspective and very reflective. But as one of my coworkers said, once people do happen to walk through those doors, it's about what we can do as an organization to make sure that when they leave, they feel a bit less burdened. And so when you do walk into the doors of the Peace Institute, you come to see it for what it is. It's a house, with the upstairs containing working spaces, offices, computers, desk chairs, but downstairs looking very much like a house. It's welcoming, it feels lived in. And so you can walk in and see the Peace Playroom with its figurines lining up the wall. You can see the cozy library that's just off to the left. You can see the inviting sitting room, and most importantly, you can see the kitchen. It was in this kitchen that I met most of my coworkers. And here I was greeted one early Tuesday morning at around 9 o'clock by the smell of pancake batter, sausage, eggs, everything, even grits. Cooking breakfast for two of my coworkers, and so I sat down at the kitchen table. It was here on my first day at the office that I talked to them about a variety of different topics. We went from 70s soul music and revolutionary black music to the state of Black Baptist churches. It was also here that I listened in on a conversation surrounding the challenges faced by returning inmates as they are going back to their communities. It was at these chairs, at these tables, where we all looked shorter than we were because the chairs were shorter than the tables, and so we have to put our elbows. It evened up our heights, but it was here that these conversations were had. It was also at these tables that I met with survivors who were willing and wanting to share their stories of why they had come to the Peace Institute and why they remained affiliated with it. It was here that I got to learn about their loved one, how they lived, what they liked, and most importantly, who they were. These conversations were not overshadowed by the circumstances of their deaths. These conversations did not happen behind a computer desk, nor in an office, or in a very mahogany room with a sitting couch. They instead happened at these tables. At these tables, I heard stories of life, jokes, testimonies. Tears were shed and prayers were uttered. These tables allowed me to tap into the intimate moments of both staff and survivors as they came to the LDBPI. This also allowed me to better include the voices of others in my project. The goal of the LDBPI is always to amplify the voices of survivors, and so I really took that to heart. And at these tables where they got to tell you their own stories, you were able to partake in their stories with them and help for them to share it to the broader world if that was their goal. By the last time that I sat at these tables, the whole staff had gathered to eat and bid me farewell with a dinner. And I realized that it was at these tables that I worked. It was at these tables that I talked, laughed, and it was here that we got to know each other. It showed me the appreciation that the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute had for life despite the work that it was involved in. And I would like to invite my fellow cohort mate, the wonderful Sir Sono.